So week one is rounding up. You should have read the first two chapters of Hebrews, chapters 1 and 2. And I want you to begin by thinking about how the book of Genesis opens. And think about how the Gospel of John opens. In the beginning, God created. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And then think about how Hebrews opens. You begin to think thematically. These books are all opening, and it's about God speaking. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. Hebrews opens by reflecting back on this concept. And so from the very beginning, it's setting up the forward flow of Hebrews, grounding it in a what came before, kind of past, present, future, eternity. And so what you're getting from the outset of Hebrews is this is about God speaking. God is speaking. And it's going to drive home the concept that's highlighted on the slide here, that Jesus doesn't just have the final word. Jesus is the final word. And so you're the creator of the book of Hebrews, whether it's a letter or whether it's some other form, it's a sermon. I lean towards this being a sermon that was written for a specific audience. And I think as you begin to work through it, you're going to see that it is a beautifully crafted sermon that sets the hearer up, and he's going to drive home that the final word for your life is Jesus. And he's going to weave in the story of Jesus that actually begins in the Old Testament. And so that Jesus is the final word, but it's the final word in a continuation of God speaking that happens at the very beginning of God's story in the Old Testament, through the prophets, through the patriarchs, through the men and the women and the testimonies and the many narratives that interweave and interconnect and intersect, all to propel the story forward to the final culminating piece of when Jesus will have the final word over it all. And so throughout this class and throughout the book of Hebrews, you're going to continue to see other narratives get interwoven and pulled into the broader narrative of who Jesus is and just how complete his ministry and his life and his presence and his essence and everything about Jesus becomes incredibly central and powerful and guiding principle. And so you'll have a lot of different themes that get played through.